Hello everyone and welcome to Lilly Sky Tarot. Thank you for watching. I'll be doing the new moon in Libra horoscope astrology reading for the energy for this new moon and also for every zodiac sign. Okay, so the new moon in Libra is happening on the 26th of October 2020 and it's happening at 12:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so check your area for the high peak. The high peaks are usually good for you to really take in the energy of the new moon and set your intention, right? Especially if you do meditation or any kind of focus work, okay? Spiritual work. So it's 23 degrees, which is strong, and a strong degree, and it's 52 minutes. So if you're sitting there for 52 minutes at the start of the high peak, that's the most powerful energetic time for the new moon and all the energies of that aspect. And we have to take in mind that Mercury is going retrograde, I believe on the 13th in some location in Pacific Standard Time. It's happening at 6:05 p.m. Pacific Time, and in Scorpio, so that's a high peak. And on the 14th, it's happened in other time zone and on the East Coast. So I'll be making a separate short video on that for you guys. But the high peak for that and the minutes, okay, and all the information about it going into retrograde in Scorpio. So this new moon in Libra is all about balance and finding balance within ourselves, but also very strongly in our relationship with others, okay? So Mercury in Aries squares Jupiter and Saturn is going to have a strong effect on our ego, and it's going to play out in our social life because we're still dealing with the strong energy of this lunar year 2020, and we're also dealing with Saturn and Jupiter, also Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, so there's a lot of looking at ourselves, reborn, restoring. This is a reborn energy of ourselves. The Jupiter is our good luck, our prosperity, right? Us living at our highest vibration. But Saturn is also there for us to live at our best, but it's our tough teacher of rules, discipline, to keep things in order. So some of it can be out of hand and some of it can be good. You know, there's good and bad with the Jupiter and Saturn energy, too much of an excess. But with these three planets, it's really asking us to, especially with Pluto, to take a step back, right? And just really look at what we're doing, look at ourselves, and look at how we can transform and be better. Right, so it's a lot of hard work, and that has to be done in Capricorn, which is very much an earth energy and a very much business, earthbound, earth realm energy, where we're here to learn lessons. If we look at it in a spiritual sense, it's very, say, Matrix, right? We're in this world to learn. So this Mars in Aries squaring Jupiter and Saturn is asking us to look at our ego and how can we care about ourselves in a positive way, but it's really a selfish way. Look at how we're selfish, right? And it's about putting our needs first, and that can be good or bad, right? So it's all about how the person is doing it, and then the restrictions on that, right? And why is there a restriction on putting the self first, right? So there could be good there and could be bad. So it's looking at the ego of it. Now Pluto in Capricorn squares the Sun, Moon in Libra is our self and our emotions, right? So it's really looking at rules and trying to bring balance to our transformation, our change, and finding order in that change. We also have the Fortune in Capricorn, which is let's say, our good luck, right? And it's in the 12th house, and the 12th house is a very spiritual house to be in. It's in Pisces house. So it's in a very dreamlike state where we'll be dealing with the dreamlike state of our communication with Mercury in Scorpio. So we're dealing with those two energies as well. The fortune is our good luck, right, in Capricorn. So there might be a lot of smoke and mirrors here, because something can sound really good, but it's really not, and it's going to take, like, say, a psychic eye to see it, right? The Pisces in the 12th house is going to take, it's like the 12th house and the real world house is at play. So things aren't what they seem. We got to really hear what is being said and really be intelligent enough to hear word games, right? So then this Pluto in Capricorn squares Mars in Aries. It's a lot of tension. It's earth and fire, and this is a lot of tension energy of Capricorn wanting there to be a reorganization, a redoing of things to make it better or to make it flow better. But then the Mars, the ego, is thinking of itself, and the first house energy is thinking of itself, right? Now Libra is asking us to find balance in our social life, which is our communication with others. And we really, at this time with the Mercury retrograde, have to look at how we communicate. We have Venus squares the nodes, and this is knowledge to help others, okay? And this is a conflict, but an opportunity to really inspire and for us to really listen to the knowledge that's going to help us evolve, okay? For the next moon cycle, when the next moon cycle starts for the year, okay? So in spring, okay? So emotionally, now let's look at Venus trine Pluto. This is putting self first, right? And we can be kind to others, but at the same time, we have to look out for smoke and mirrors and really care about putting ourselves first. So there's a lot of energy that will need to be kind of misunderstood still, but still needs a focus. Venus trines, and the Venus trines Pluto is also going to be an energy of us really looking at things for what they are, okay? And it's going to be us putting ourselves first, and it might be perceived negatively, but still being kind to others. So it's finding that balance of kindness and strength, okay? And it's the beauty and the rebirth of self, okay? Venus trines Jupiter. It's going to bring comfort, it's an ease and flow, but it's an emotional transformation that we have to have, and it's us being as resourceful as we can. We also have to know, it's like we have to just continue being a cheerleader for ourselves throughout the conflict, throughout the change. Venus opposing Neptune is, it can have some unrealistic visions, unrealistic goals, because it's a dream state, right? It's a beautiful dream state that we're in. So it's being like a visionary for things that we want to happen, but how realistic is it, and how we're going about it might not be the best way. And if we're being influenced by smoke and mirrors, then it's not going to have a realistic outcome. It's going to be in that dream state where we want to make it a reality. So it's the dream fighting the reality is what this new moon has. So we really have to do the inner work. Mars retrograde in the IC in the third house, which is Gemini's house. So this is us looking internally and focusing internally on ourselves. As much as this new moon in Libra is about finding clarity and balance for within and for our relationship, we really have to work on ourselves while we are working on our relationship with others. So Mercury retrograde in the IC is asking us to focus on what do we value? What do I value? Instead of me saying to you, what do you value? I'm going to use I. So I'm going to say, what do I value? What do I think? What do I feel? So I got to review those, right? Then my home, my domestic life, my environment around me, how am I going to communicate and live with that? I got to make changes to how I communicate and live, you know, and we don't have to do it right away. We just got to, the 3 weeks is taking in information and really kind of self-guiding ourselves, looking at our family and how we create our own creativity, our time. How is my time being used and how does it affect my creativity? How can I make this better? So we always have to readjust. We have to be mutable, like the mutable signs, right? We have to like readjust, and we have to look at how we work, our work. Now let's look at the MC being in the 9th house. That's going to have its own impact on us, because that is our needs to get out and explore. That's our Sagittarius within us. We want to explore, we want to travel. We're thinking about law, we're thinking about our education, we're thinking about people not being educated, right? So we're thinking about, you know, as much as the 9th house is about education, it's also the opposite, dealing with people who are uneducated about something, right? Or unaware of it, and we can't look down on them. We have to just be a clear voice, right? And the IC in the 3rd house is our communicative house. So we have to look at ourselves and really communicate with ourselves. Then in the 1st house, we'll have Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in the 1st house. So we're looking at that, and this is the self house, okay? So when we're dealing with the self house, the Capricorn energy can also have the negative effect of just thinking about what's good for the bigger, louder voice, or the corporation, or the bigger groups, right? So when you're in that house, you're looking at the bigger picture, the career of something, rather than what is right. It could be the status of something rather than what is right, and the purpose of something rather than what is right. And it's all about taking power. So the new moon is coming into this. Even if someone is wrong, they might add a lie in there to make it sound really bad, when that could not be the intention of that particular person or group. So we're going to see a lot of fibbing, a lot of lyings too, and you have to really see it, you know. But then there's bigger teams at play, so it'll make things difficult. So this is all about conflict and a disruption to our normal flow of life, which we've already been experiencing. So it's a disruption to our normal flow of life and the way we think. So we really have to really listen to ourselves, right? So Saturn squaring the Sun, right, which is in the 1st house. This is us really giving us an opportunity to change something about ourselves, right? And we really have to do that. So going back to that, we really have to look at ourselves and say, okay, you know, this new moon is in Libra in the 9th house, right? But yes, it's in the 9th house, and we will be dealing with issues in those 3 weeks after the new moon about travel, especially about travel, and especially about laws, okay? And the impact of laws that's going to happen within that 3 weeks is going to make a big impact on our whole travel, the way we move in our, not just traveling like, okay, I want to travel to another place, but how we move in our own life, okay? So it's going to affect that. So that's Saturn squaring our Sun, okay? Saturn squaring our moon is our emotions. Our emotions are going to be even stronger because of what's going on, Okay, so we have to be aware of that, and that's where we have to call in on our own local teams to make a better change. We can't look to, like, say, this big source of light, right? We have to look at our own local light to kind of make the changes, because that when the emotion is being affected, when the moon and Saturn is being affected, the moon is kind of like going to take on the messenger. The moon is the old Mercury. So the moon has to balance the message of the emotion, right? And the moon is also kind of looked at as a beacon, an antenna. That's what the Mercury, the messenger is the antenna that sends the message out. But the moon is also can be looked at as the mother, right? The mother can make the emotion good or bad, right? The mother has a strong impact on the emotion as well. Saturn squaring Mars in retrograde is how we fight and our strength. So we have to review how we fight rather than fight. We have to kind of be a master of our emotions and sit back and watch and learn, take notes, and then move forward, okay? So that's it, okay? So I'm going to say stuff about the ninth house, especially when I'm talking about Libra. So I'm going to read it in a different way as well, right? Because you can interpret these things differently. But let's get on with it, okay? So let's look at the charts and then move from there. So let's start with Libra, because it is Libra's birthday season. So happy birthday to all the Libras out there. Okay, so let's try and zoom in on this. You guys will have the chart up. I don't have the chart up yet until I edit, right? So you guys will have the chart up. So let's start with Libra, and then I'll move clockwise on my chart over to Virgo. So Libra. Maybe I should move the other way into Scorpio, actually, counterclockwise. But okay, so Libra, you're in the ninth house, so you're going to want to feel like you want to travel. All of this staying in, you're going to feel cooped up. You're going to want to do things. You're an air sign. You're social. You know, even if you are a Libra that's not too social, you're still social with the people that make you comfortable. So you're going to want to travel and go out. So you'll probably be doing that before the new moon and during the new moon, having your travel. Okay, and you'll have a lot of attention on you being in the MC, so watch your mouth, watch what you say. So don't communicate too much and try not to, you know, make commitments on things that you know you can't do, but just watch what you say, because the attention will be on you. Scorpio, you have Mercury retrograde, okay, at that time, because it already went retrograde in Scorpio, and you have at the new moon, you're going to have Mercury retrograde. So watch how you communicate, and just be slow to anger, right? And you're in the 10th house, so all the 10th house issues, okay? Sagittarius, you'll have some 11th house experiences, okay? So make sure that you are dealing with friends in a good way. And you have south node issues, so you're still going to be going through a year until, as long as the south node is in your sign, you'll be going through karmic life lessons on relationships, and your main goal. I'm trying to fight the yawn. The main goal is to learn these karmic issues that you're dealing through. So a lot of 11th house and 12th house issues, which is friends in the 11th house, your goals, your aspirations, groups that you're associated with. Your 12th house issues is your dream, your spirituality. Also, you transcending, you changing spiritually, right? So it's just a lot of growth for you, and try not to really, you know, ruin your process, self-sabotage your process, okay? Capricorn, again, we've been talking about Capricorn, so we know Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto is there. So it's all of this mix of emotions in the first house. A lot of self mixed in with, it's like a me energy, dealing with getting things in order, and also a spiritual rebirth of self, okay? Aquarius, you are dealing with a lot of issues of home and what strikes most at the heart and the heart of the matter for you. Okay, so it's just healing a lot and dealing with things that is your responsibility, your money, things you own, and how those play a part in your life. So it's really dealing with things that hit close to home. Okay, Pisces, you'll be dealing with second and third house issues. So the way you communicate, the way that you're creative, and anything that affects your home. Okay. Aries will be dealing with a lot of healing and needing to heal and being there to help others as well, but also make sure that you make time for you. The way that you protect yourself, defend yourself, fight, the way that you go after your goals, you have to look those over about how you attain things in life. And that's going to also play in part with the balancing Libra of your relationship with others, finding clarity and balance with relationship with others. Okay, and this is really, and you have also the IC, so this is how you look at what you value, what you think, what you feel, your home life, everything that we talked about before about the energy of this new moon, right? Taurus, you have your home planet of Uranus still. You're dealing with a lot of fourth house issues, and you need a lot of nurturing, a lot of healing, and it has to do with your family and the way that your family raised you, and the way your home life and anything and what you need to make you feel secure and happy. So, you know, it's a lot of self-healing in fourth house, and your fourth house issues. Okay. Gemini, it will be fifth house issues and sixth house issues for some of you. So it's going to be about your daily life, your home, your health, making sure that you're okay. If you do have health issues, if you do have any kind of issues with self, that's to do with your work, and you're improving yourself. Okay, Gemini, things that you need to do to improve yourself, but also not stressing yourself out as well, and dealing with that's your sixth house issues, your daily life, your daily stresses, your daily experiences in work, your daily health, right? And fifth house issues, your creativity, your romantic life, if you have kids or want to have kids, and how you implement fun into your life. So it's your own personal creativity. So Gemini will be dealing with that. And of course you have the North Node, so it's so much energy pressure. So it's a good that you write down things in journal. And this is for everyone too. Write down things in journal and make notes throughout the day. Your day goes better when you have a checklist. Because you also have the North Node, so you're dealing with your Jupiter energy, right? So this whole Jupiter in Capricorn affects you, where it might stress you out when people aren't being as good as they should be to each other. So this is dealing with your Jupiter. What is your mission in life, your calling in life, your future, and challenges that you may have. Things that are unknown to you can be very frustrating because you want it to know now and you want things to happen now, right? And Gemini, it's going to deal with things that you need to learn, okay? So you guys will also be looking at fifth house and sixth house issues as well, but mainly, I want to say mainly sixth house issues, okay, Gemini, and North Node, okay? So always focusing on what your life purpose is. And your life purpose might not be good to others, it might be good to some, but it serves its purpose, right? Cancer, you'll be dealing with a lot of seventh house issues, marriage issues, whether you are or you're not. Okay, partnership issues. This is your awareness of yourself, but mainly awareness of others in your life. Are they a benefit to you? What are the stresses? And then dealing with that and trying to find balance in this Libra moon with that. Okay. Leo, this is all about you sharing, okay? Finding balancing in the things you share, because this is going to be a lot of 8th house issues, okay? Scorpio's house. Some of you will be dealing with sex, death, other people's money, money that you didn't know you have, receiving money, finding new ways of making money, keeping, you know, things at a status that you're used to, or the comfort that you're used to, your life purpose, okay? So, and that's going to be very interesting for you, but also you'll be dealing with you can tap into the Venus energy, because even though you don't get along well with Virgo, they have and I usually don't say this, but you can feel some of the Virgo energy and tap into that. Now, Venus energy and tap into that. Now, Virgo, you do have Venus, okay? You'll be dealing with much of the 8th house and 9th house issues. 8th house is Scorpio's house. It's about shared resources, but also you'll be dealing with the need to want to travel, or the need to help others to understand things, the philosophy, the way the mind works, spirituality. So even if you're going through a hard time where you are focusing on things that make you stress out, or things that you need to focus on, you're also going to tap into a lot of spiritual things as well, spiritual teachings, writings, to help you balance out all of the day-to-day stresses that you are combating. And it could be for good, but a lot of things that is for good can also be very stressful, okay? So what I also want to share with you guys as well today is that, yes, this is going to be a positive moon if we do the work that we need to do. So watching this video early will help. So I'm happy I'll be getting this video out for you guys, and making sure, especially on the new moon and the full moon, making sure that, you know, you do what you need to get done so that you can really enjoy the day, so you don't have to play catch up. That's the most important thing on new moons and full moons, is not to feel rushed, because energies are more heightened on these days. Even if someone don't really care for astrology and all of this spiritual stuff, you'll still feel like you'll have a strong experience around that time, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace. Please click like and share. It really helps the channel. All right.